After everything I have been through, the only lesson I have learned is never be kind to someone who isn't kind to you. Never forgive someone who dislikes you and tries to make your life hard. It doesn't matter what kind of relationship you have with them. I'm telling you this because I wish somebody had given me this advice long ago. Then maybe I wouldn't be in this situation. Right now, everyone believes that I am cheating on my fiancé. I have never even thought about another guy since the day we started dating. The only reason this is happening is that my cousin hates me more than Lex Luthor hates Superman. I, Jess, 28 female, and my cousin Kat, 29 female, were really competitive growing up. Our moms are twins, so we were raised like sisters. We went to the same school, always lived barely 10 minutes from each other, and spent most days out together. While I believe that we had a normal sibling rivalry to always beat the other, it was completely different for her. I don't know if it is because I was younger, or if my parents were a tad bit more successful, but she hated me. I didn't know it then, and every time she did something bad to me, I excused her behavior, telling myself that she didn't mean any harm. No matter how many things she took or how badly she hurt me, I told myself she was my sister. She would never do that stuff intentionally. I didn't want to believe that Kat was a bad person. I always believed that we would grow to be sisters and best friends. At least I realized soon enough that something like that was never going to happen. I should have cut her off long ago for everything she did to me. But I refused to see the truth. The first time I was forced to face reality was when Kat tried to sabotage an important interview of mine. I really should have just cut her off then. The interview was something I had been working to get for a long time. It was a really big opportunity, and Kat tried her best to stop me from getting there in time. She slashed my tires, mixed something in my coffee, and even ruined my dress. I think that day luck had smiled on me, because I had the luck of a lifetime. Even after all this, not only did I make it there in time, but I also nailed the interview somehow. All the chaos before made me really calm and happy during it, and I got the job. After that, I investigated everything that happened and proved that it was Kat. That came as a shock to everyone, including me. That was the first time I was truly heartbroken by something she did. And also the first time I considered never speaking to her again. But she accepted that she was jealous that I was going to be a lot more successful, and begged for weeks for me to forgive her. The decision was left completely up to me, and in the end I made the decision to give her a chance. After that, she did nothing and even acted a tad bit kinder. So, I was really happy with my decision. But it turns out she was just waiting for the perfect opportunity. I was the frog happily riding the crab, or the scorpion, whatever the saying is. I'm sorry, I don't remember. Then, 3 days ago, out of nowhere, Kat accused me of cheating on my fiancé. About 4 months ago, I got engaged to an amazing man, Alec, 30 male, who I thought loved me more than anything in this world. I was more than happy to marry him. A few weeks after I got engaged, Kat got engaged too. Her fiancé, Peter, 28, male, is actually a great guy. I like him. I was happy for her, and I thought she felt the same about me. But I had no idea what she was actually planning. About 3 days ago, there was a family function where almost all of our family members had come. I was busy preparing for the upcoming wedding, and I even asked Kat for some ideas. She happily told me some of her own and said that I could take inspiration. I thought that was really nice of her and thanked her. She gave me a creepy smile and told me that I need to start drinking. I asked her why. She told me to enjoy the show she was about to put on. I smiled, believing that she was going to do something entertaining. About half an hour later, she asked for everyone's attention. Kat then told everyone that she had some really bad news. She started by apologizing to my fiancé, Alec, and my parents. She then looked at me and told me that I should have listened to her and stopped when she gave me the chance. She then told everyone that I was cheating on my fiancé, that she had caught me cheating multiple times with my ex-boyfriend Oli, 27, male. I didn't even react at first because I thought this was a prank of some kind. The way everyone else reacted scared me. Mom and Alec asked Kat what on earth she was doing. A lot of family members refused to believe it, and that made me really happy. At first, I told everyone I had no idea what she was talking about, But then this witch pulled out the receipts. I couldn't believe what was happening. She had photos of me smiling with my ex, which were real, screenshots of fake texts between us, and even a voice recording of her confronting me. I don't know how she did the recording thing, but I assume it's AI. She played the recording and it went like this. Kat told me that she saw me with my ex. She asked me to stop doing this, reminded me that I had a really nice fiancé who loved me, and that I was getting married in a few months. I sounded really evil somehow. I told her that it was none of her business and reminded her that nobody is going to believe her. I also threatened to destroy her life if she even tried. She gave me a warning that if I ever cheated on Alec again, she would expose me, no matter what it would cost her. That is the second time I learned how quickly your loved ones can turn on you. On a drop of a hat, 95% of the crowd turned on me. My parents and my fiancé refused to believe me. I started thinking this was a nightmare. My head hurt from not being able to process all this. I felt dizzy. Every second, 1,000 questions were being thrown at me. Accusations hit me like a brick. I took a deep breath and screamed at everyone to stop and give me a second. The family calmed down. Then I faced Kat and asked her what she was doing. I told her that I know she made this all up, but why? What had I done to her for her to try and frame me like this? She didn't give me an answer. She just looked at me like I was asking a dumb question. I asked her why she was trying to ruin my life. She softly smiled and told me she was not. She was just telling the truth. That really upset me. So, I grabbed her by her collar and asked her to stop lying. While the family was trying to separate us, she told everyone that she wished she were lying. After that, my fate was pretty much sealed. I saw Alec's heartbreak at that moment. He looked completely broken as he asked me why I did this to him. My mom slapped me and told me that she never expected her own daughter to make her feel like this ever. Dad said he was ashamed of me. Everyone believed her lies except for 3 people, Uncle James and his 2 kids. They trust me more than anything. He was the one who escorted me out of that mess and asked me what on earth that was. I told him I didn't know what or why it happened. Now, except for these 3, nobody is speaking to me. Alec is refusing to see me. My wedding is about to be canceled. And why would it not? My fiancé thinks I'm sleeping with my ex. He only helped me when I ran into him over a month ago. How was I supposed to know Kat was stalking me to set me up? I don't even know what I did to deserve this. So tell me, how do I get out of it? How do I convince my family and my fiancé? How do I prove that my cousin is trying to sabotage my life? I'm completely out of ideas. Comments, Austin Powers says, you are in the thick of it at this point. You can maybe talk to your ex and ask him to convince your fiancé that you guys didn't do anything. That would maybe prove something. Or you could get her proof analyzed and prove it was AI. I don't really know how that works, but if it does work like that, you could easily prove yourself. Lastly, you should try to talk to your fiancé even if he doesn't want to. I feel like you can convince him that you have not done anything that your cousin is blaming you for. Don't give up hope. You can do this. Crazy Johnson says, honestly, I don't think there is anything else you can do here. I think the cousin has really thought all of this through. So, why don't you take a different route? Try to find out something about her that you can use to get the truth out of her. Maybe follow her or try to record her bragging about what she did to you. Other than that, I don't think you have many options left. She got you pretty good. You are right, you should have cut off a person like her long ago. You made a terrible mistake. Wepu81. Hello, I'm Jess. 2 weeks ago, I wrote here about how my cousin framed me as a cheater and what I could do about it. Thank you for your kind responses. You guys gave me a lot of good advice, and I tried to follow it. Unfortunately, nothing worked. That is because I was trying to clean myself in a lake that was dirty on the inside. You are not going to believe the things I discovered. I thought I'd hit rock bottom last time, but it turns out I had not even scratched the surface. After everything Kat did, I was left mostly alone. As you well know, except for 3 people in the family, everyone was ignoring me, and my fiancé was not responding to my calls, texts, or anything. Many of you told me that if I tried hard enough, I could maybe convince him of the truth. Believe me, I tried really hard. I waited outside his home and office for hours, and after 2 days of doing this, he finally agreed to talk to me. I spoke with him and told him everything that I knew. I explained to him that the evidence was fake, but I could not prove it. I asked him to believe me and told him that if I had really done all that, I would not be fighting it even now. I only ran into my ex by accident, and he needed help. So I gave him 10 minutes of my life, believing there was nothing wrong with helping someone, even if it's your obnoxious ex. I only had a small conversation with him, nothing else. But Kat used that to frame me as a cheater, and they all believed it. I tried my best to convince him that I was telling the truth. After I was finished, Alec told me that he wanted to believe me, but he couldn't, and he doesn't want to waste any more time in his life on me. He then took the ring that I was wearing, officially canceling the wedding and the engagement. As I was leaving, I thought that it was kind of weird how Alec didn't even spend a second thinking if I was actually telling the truth, but I could not blame him either, as maybe I would have done the same if I were in his position. Surprisingly, it turns out Alec's position was a lot different than what I was thinking. All of this happening left me pretty furious at Kat. She had completely boxed me in with no place to go. So, I decided that playing defense was not going to do me any good since I would not be able to convince anyone. I thought the best thing to do would be to attack her back. This was my thinking behind it. If she was going to ruin my life anyway, why shouldn't I try to do the same with her? So, I decided to forget about proving my innocence and focus on finding some dirt on Kat. I took out a bunch of money from my savings and gave it to a good private investigator and had Kat followed and tracked. Honestly, when I did this, I thought it was a very foolish idea. I thought I was not going to find anything at all, but Kat turned out to be way more careless than I gave her credit for. This morning, the PI contacted me and told me that he had some crazy information. He told me I was not ready for it, and I bet him that nothing could shock me at this point. I shouldn't have made that bet, because as soon as he started talking, my mouth fully dropped. He told me that my fiancé, Alec, was also involved in everything that happened to me. I told him he had gone mad, but then he showed me photos and videos of Alec and Kat kissing. He told me that he had spotted them multiple times on different dates this week alone. He explained that most probably their affair was the reason my fiancé helped my cousin frame me, meaning, right from the start, I had no shot at convincing anyone to forgive my fiancé. It took me some time to come to terms with this, but when I did, I asked the PI to collect more evidence. I have him until the end of this week. I cannot believe that my fiancé did this to me. He is the one cheating on me with Kat, and they had the audacity to paint me as a cheater. Not only is he cheating, but Kat is also cheating on her fiancé. They are getting married too. Are they going to pull the same trick on him too, or was all this just for me? I'm heartbroken and really angry at both of them. So, I'm going to use this anger to make them both regret doing all this to me, especially Kat. I know that she did all this just to break my marriage and take away my happiness. So, it's only fair that I take away hers too. Wabate 2. Hi everyone. It's been over a month. My cousin's wedding is in a week, and guess what I am going to do? Yes, I am going to wait till their wedding, and then tell everyone what she did to me. Not only the lying to ruin my life part, but also the part where she cheated on me with my fiancé. After what I found out last time, I assumed that Kat and Alec were going to marry each other, but it turns out that's not the case. Kat never even liked Alec much, and was just using him to get to me. How do I know all this, you ask? Well, because I made Alec tell me the truth. A week after my last update, I had gathered enough proof to blow all this wide open, but I didn't want to, because I wanted to talk to Alec first. So, I confronted him and showed him that I knew the truth. He was understandably shocked and begged me not to tell his parents. It was kind of absurd. After cheating on me, framing me as a cheater, and making my whole family hate me, he was asking me for mercy, and I promised him that I was not going to do anything. I told him I wasn't looking for revenge, I only wanted to know the truth. I told him all this while I was recording our conversation. Of course, I was lying. I had no reason to be truthful with this man. He nearly ruined my life. He then proceeded to tell me everything that happened. He was in love and his plan was to always marry me. But slowly, Kat seduced him and he couldn't stop himself from sleeping with her. He made a mistake, But Kat had done all that deliberately. She then used him continuously as she liked and made him go through with her plan. She threatened to tell everyone what they did, and he was really scared of the whole family finding out the truth. He said that he was going to tell me the truth after Kat got married and begged for forgiveness. So, it turns out Kat was determined to ruin my happiness and wanted nothing more than to watch my downfall. Also, she was the one who paid my ex to run into me and distract me while she took pictures. I thought it was weird that I met him right on time when she was looking for proof to use. After he told me everything, Alex started begging for forgiveness and told me that he did actually love me. He just made a terrible mistake. I then told him that at this same spot just over a month ago, I begged him, but he reacted like a rock and called me a cheater, even though he knew I had done nothing. Not only that, but he had slept with and helped the person who has always hated me. I asked him why I would ever even think about forgiving him. He didn't say anything. He just gave me back the ring and told me it was always mine right from the start. I asked him if he had lost his mind. When he kept begging me to take it, I took it from him and threw it right in front of him. I told him that I don't care if it was Kat's plan or if she manipulated him. He should have fought for us instead of submitting to her so easily. He teared up and asked me if I was ever going to come back to him, and I told him that it was never going to happen. But I thanked him for doing what he did. When he asked why, I told him that I now realized that I wouldn't be happy with him in the future. So yeah, I have more than enough proof, and Kat has no idea. I felt that her wedding was the best place to do something like this. I feel bad for her fiancé, but all is fair in love and war, right? Update 3. Hi friends. It's been a week, and today was the day Kat was supposed to get married. But unfortunately, things did not work out for her because she messed with the wrong girl. Waiting for a week was the hardest thing I had to do. Finally, the day came. Now, I was originally not invited to the wedding, but 2 days ago, I contacted Kat's fiancé and told him I wanted to come and talk to my family. I promised him I was not going to do anything, just say sorry to my family and beg them to give me a chance. I told you he is a really nice guy, because he immediately agreed to help me. I hope you remember Uncle James and his kids. They are the only ones who believed my story right from the start, so I asked for their help, as during the wedding I wouldn't be able to do anything. So I made a pre-recorded message and designed a slideshow with all the proof I had collected. Then I left it in my uncle's and his kids' hands to do the rest of the work. After this, all I had to do was show up and look good. I showed up and Kat was furious that I had made it in. I saw her arguing, but for some reason, she gave it up. I tried to talk to my parents, but they just asked me to stay away. A while later, just as the wedding was about to start, I heard my voice boom out of the speakers. Based on my instructions, everyone looked at the screens. Hearing my voice, Kat ran out to see what was going on. Her face went white as she saw the proof cycling through the TVs. The recording explained that she was sleeping with my ex-fiancé, and that she did all that just to destroy me. After that was done, Alex's voice came in through the speakers, and he admitted that she was behind all this. Everyone heard him say that she used him just to get to me, and even after she was done, she kept sleeping with him just for fun. By this point, Kat had gone mad and started pulling any wire she could find, hoping it would shut something off. But the damage I wanted to inflict was already done. Everyone already knew what she had done to me and to her own life. Her own fiancé was staring at her, wide-eyed. She then looked at me and tried to tell everyone that I was lying. She asked me to say that I was trying to sabotage her and ruin her life just like she did with me. I first apologized to her fiancé, and then told her that the only difference is that she was actually lying. But I am telling the truth. After that, everything fell apart. Immediately, my family surrounded her, asking what was happening. She had no answer. She started crying when her fiancé asked her to tell him the truth. When she didn't say anything, he looked at Alec, who I had not even noticed was in the crowd. He was sweating non-stop. Alec could not lie at this point and told everyone it was true. He just gave me a disappointed look, like I was supposed to keep a promise I made him after all this. Then the fiancé canceled the wedding, took the ring, and refused to listen to Kat, who was begging him not to do this. He left her crying and told her that he regretted every second he spent with her. After he and his family left, everything just became very sad. As the family was still dealing with all this, all Kat was doing was crying and hurling insults at me. So I decided to leave. I just went home. Tomorrow I am going to meet my family and demand an apology for not believing me. Honestly, I don't care about the apology, as I do understand that the proof was against me at the time. But nobody treated me like they treated Kat today. Update 4. Hi guys, it's been a few weeks, and you are not going to believe what happened next. I say that with confidence because I cannot believe this happened either. So, without wasting any more of your time, let me just jump into it. After I wrote my last update, here's what I thought was going to happen. I thought I was going to go home and get a warm welcome back and a bunch of apologies. I believed, just like they did with me, that my family was going to throw her out and cut her off. But imagine my surprise when this happened. The next day, I got a bunch of calls before I even reached there. My parents were calling, asking me to come home and explain myself. I couldn't understand what was going on. So, I went straight to their place. Kat was still crying, but as soon as she saw me, she got furious and told me she was going to ruin my life. I told her something might be wrong with her head because she had already done it. At that point, Mom told me that I shouldn't have done that. I asked her what she was talking about. Kat did the same thing to me, but in my case it was true instead of it being a frame job. Mom explained that Kat did make a huge mistake. She should not have slept with Alec, and she should not have framed me. I was with her up to that point, but then she lost the plot. She said I should not have humiliated her like that. Kat then said that she now wouldn't be able to show up to work, and that is if she still has a job, since the story went viral and almost everyone in the city knows what happened. Her reputation is ruined, I said. Good. That is what she deserves. Whoever she dates next should know exactly what kind of person she is. Dad told me that because of my stunt, the whole family's reputation had gone down the drain. He said I should have kept all this in the family instead of doing it in public like that. I asked him if he was really blaming me for what Kat did to herself. Kat was telling everyone that I ruined her life. I asked her if I forced her to sleep with my fiancé, if I forced her to try and ruin my life. It was all her decision. All I did was tell everyone the truth. And the fact that I have to explain this to them tells me everything I wanted to know. By this point, I was really furious. So, I asked all of them to choose who was right, and if they chose my cousin, I would cut them off and never look back. Mostly everyone, except a few family members, stayed silent. I hugged the people who supported me, thanked Uncle James and his kids, and then told all the other family members that they were dead to me. I told my parents and aunt that I am ashamed of calling them family, and it will be my pleasure to cut them off. Before I left, I congratulated Kat on her almost wedding, and she got furious and tried to attack me. The family held her off and I left. Kat has not been working. Alec is too embarrassed to even show his face around the area. I heard that his family is not speaking with him and his friends are avoiding him. It really makes me happy to see them miserable. I am doing well. I don't feel good about having to cut off my family. I wish I didn't have to do that, but they left me no choice. I think with time I'll be fine. Comments. Ultra Boxer Wahi Op says, you made the right choice here. It is my understanding that family is not everything. You learned that lesson right at the start. You should not forgive everything just because people are your family. They cut you off the moment they found out you did something wrong, but they took care of your cousin and blamed you instead of doing the same. That is wrong on so many levels. You will be way happier without them. Don't doubt your decision. People says, okay, there are a few things I want to tell you. I think your parents are wrong in supporting your cousin, but they are not completely wrong in telling you that you made a mistake by doing what you did. You did have the option to do everything you wanted to do, just with family around you. But instead of that, you chose to do it publicly. You wanted to humiliate her and the family. You said you felt bad for the fiancé, but if you had, you wouldn't have done this.